Audio is also fine? Yes, a quick confirmation.
Yeah, yes.
Great. Thank you so much. So let's start with the session. Hello, everyone. I'm Chetna P. I will be your instructor for AZ 900, AZ 104, AZ 305, which is a complete package of Azure Solution Architect journey. Okay, so I welcome you all on behalf of NeoSkills, on behalf of Microsoft, as I am a Microsoft certified trainer. So thank you for joining here. So let's start with before we are starting with the agenda and all, let's just start with the introduction. So let me introduce myself. As you know my name, I'm Chetna P, and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. With me, I have 12 plus certifications in Azure, which includes fundamental, associate level, expert level, as well as some of the specialty level certifications where I have covered data, infra, and dev and DevOps part. Yet I have not touched on the AI and security part, but I will be doing that soon. Okay. So this is a little bit introduction about my certifications, but also I'm a part of organization where my job is to deliver multiple trainings for Fortune 500 companies. And with that, I have 10 plus years of experience. And I have delivered multiple trainings for Fujitsu, mostly for the publicists, TCS. We also have KPMG. We also have Capgemini and all. So whatever names you know about the organization, I have delivered the sessions for them. Okay. Another thing, I also involved in multiple planning, designing, and executing various new trending technologies. So one of that, I also part of that cloud administration where I need to take care of all the infra things. So as an administrator, what you need to do. So let's discuss whenever we are doing that, and I will explore. I will explain you more on that. Okay, and what you will get from this particular course. All right. So this is a little bit introduction about me, but I would like to know you as well. So can you also let me know about yourself, what kind of experience you have, as well as what are your expectation? Are you targeting the certification? Are you targeting the skills? Anything? Okay. So shall we start with Parmeshwar? Would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. Hey, hi everyone. Good morning. My name is Parmeshwar. So currently, I'm a .NET developer, having 4 years of experience, and my organization is like Infosys, Hyderabad.
Okay, great. And what is your expectation from this course?
Yeah, like as a .NET developer, I want to learn all these cloud things also. So I need one basically a roadmap. So what I can learn in this Azure. So that's the main target for me.
Perfect. Okay. So at the end, we all need to know about what is a solution architect, right? Because CSA position will be there. So you need to know about these things. But as per your background is to the .NET, I will suggest you whenever we are going through the compute, especially compute. So you need to focus more on that part. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. So you can also remind me at that moment, and I will guide you more onto that.
Okay, sure.
Sure. Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank
Yes,
you.
let's go with Hassan.
Sure. Hi, team. Good morning, everyone. My name is Hassan Khan. Basically, I'm from Lucknow. I've done my graduation from Amity University, Lucknow, and I started my career from HCL Technologies. I'm having a experience of 2 years, 10 months in HCL Technologies. I started my career as an IT analyst over there, and after that I got selected in one of the companies. Its name is Infinite Computer Solutions. Currently I'm working in this company only, and it's been like 2 years almost. So the complete experience, the relevant experience is like 5 years as of now, and I'm working as an L2 support engineer over here.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And what is your main agenda for joining this course?
As this is my first course in my careers, I'm looking for better career opportunities in Azure. I'm very much keen to learn as this is like one of the best technologies available in the market. So I'm very much keen to learn Azure.
Okay, great. And you will get a fabulous experience here as well. Okay, and
Yeah,
that will,
definitely.
of course, impact your career. Okay, thank you so much, Hassan, for joining.
Yeah. Thank you, Jitna.
Thank you. So let's go for Jayendra.
Hello, can you
Hi,
hear me?
Jayendra. Yes.
My name is Jendra. I'm working in Gandhinagar Lok Sabha in TCS, in testing and development, Java-based application. So currently, I need to clear this AJ204 Azure Developer Certification. So I'm preparing for this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Jayendra, again, for this AZ305, where we are targeting certification for AZ305, not AZ204. But same thing as I said to Parmeshwar, you need to focus more on compute, because if you are completing AG204 or anything, my suggestion to all the members, whoever wants to learn about Azure, they need to have the idea on AZ104, because this is a
Yeah,
basic,
yes, yes.
right? And then
Right,
also,
right.
whenever we are talking about compute, that time I will also give you more and more insights about AZ204. Yes, of course, at the end of the last day, we will be covering some of the part of AZ204 as well. 2 to 3 services are there. In compute, I will try to cover most of the things, especially on the web application. I will focus more function app as well as storage account is also one of the part. Cosmos database is also one of the part. And if you want to complete the certifications and all, I will also help you on that. Okay,
Yeah, okay, okay.
great. Thank you so much for joining. All right, so let's start. Let's go with Sahil.
Hello.
Hi, Sahil.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good morning. So, hi, my name is Sahil Vekaria, system administrator, currently working as a senior UC specialist in Thales Digital. I work extensively with Microsoft 365, AZ, AD, Intune, work Windows environment, and Linux, etc. environments. And also, I have hands-on experience to Azure VMs, virtual machines, the VMware, networking, storage, RBAC.
Mm-hmm.
So, etc. I'm preparing AZ104 and 305 to move deeper into Azure administration and architecture roles.
Okay, great to know about that, that you already know some of the services and you are working with that. So,
Mhm.
CJ, I will share my experiences, but Sahil, I will also ask you for to share your experiences with that, because you are actually working with the storage accounts, virtual machines, and some of the services, right?
Yeah, but not deeper than that because I don't have a certification, so they are not allowing me to touch it. So
Mhm.
I some of the basic stuffs. So yeah,
Sure, sure.
for creating a VMs and assigning the RAMs and configuring it like that.
Okay, great. Whatever experience you have, that will also help here for other team members as well. Okay. So thank
Mm-hmm.
you for joining, Sahil.
Welcome.
All right, so let's talk about what is AZ 900, 104, and 305. Now, here, AZ 900 is the fundamental, where you need to just go through all the domains of Azure. Okay, so whenever I'm talking about all the domains of Azure means what? So Azure is having Dev and DevOps domain where we have AZ204 and 400. Let me just write it. Okay, and then just a minute. All right. So one part is there, which is infra, where we are having AZ900, AZ104, and 305, where we are only focusing on the administration part as well as the solution architect. Another domain will be after AZ900, we have AZ204, which is specially for the developers. If you are from the Java background or if you are from the .NET or any programming language and you wanted to create a solution on PaaS services, which is a platform as a service. Now, what is mean by PaaS services? That we will going to cover in our first session itself. Okay. And after that, either you can go for 305 as well as you can go for AZ 400 because we need, as a developer, we need the automation. So you can target AZ 400 after this. Okay. Then we also have another domain which is called as security. So whenever I'm saying that security part, then I will not say that AZ900, but in AZ900 you will get to know about, yes, there is a domain for security. So for the security domain, you need to go for SC900, like a fundamental of security. Also, you can go for SC100, 200, 300, and 401. So those are the certifications of SC series. Okay. After that, Microsoft also provides you the certification on Intune services, also provides you the certifications on M365. And whenever I'm talking about the M365 domain, there are some of the certification which also covers the Copilot, okay, which is a trending technology for Copilot. And whoever is working in development background, I will also suggest them to use the Copilots, GitHub Copilots. Okay, if you want to learn more about that, I will also guide you in a short. Okay, it will not take too much time. Now, this is the security journey. After that, we also have a data where we are starting with DP 900. DP 900, then we have DP 700, DP 600, which focuses more on the Microsoft Fabric, which is the new service has been launched by Microsoft. Okay. After that, you can also go for DP 300. You can also go for DP 420, which is a part of AZ204, one part of AZ204, and one part of AZ305, which is a Cosmos database. So this is kind of a data journey. If you want to go for AI, then there is a AI 900 plus AI 102. So you can choose this AI platform as well. Now, if you are having little bit understanding on Azure or anything, that you can understand that the Azure is too much. It is having so many services that we can't cover in one go, right? So Microsoft has designed AZ900 in such a way that we are just talking about the high level overview. We are just saying that, okay, in AZ900, in data platform, you will get this basic services. In security, you will get this basic services. What is the agenda for AZ204 or the dev services? Or what is the agenda for AI services? So just little bit heads up on AI 900. And then if you want to do the deep dive onto that, then you need to choose the associate level certifications. So 104 is associate level, 204 is associate level, even SC 200, 300, 401 is associate level certification, AI 102 associate level. It means it's a intermediate service or certification. But if you want to go beyond that limit, you want to go for expert level, you can go for 305, you can go for AZ 400, or you can go for SC 100 for security. Till now, there is no expert certification in data vertical and AI vertical. Okay. But anyhow, if you are doing anything, the major expert level certification is 305, where you need all kind of understandings for Azure. It means we are covering all kind of use cases regarding with the RBAC roles, regarding with the AD, regarding with our networking, PaaS services, or the compute services, or the business continuity, or the migration. Everything we are covering over here. Now, to understand or to complete 305, the participant background must have AZ104 understanding. So this is mandatory certification for 305. You can't directly go for 305. I can say that you can clear the examination for 305, but you will not get a badge for Azure Solution Architect Expert till you are not completing AZ104. Because this is mandatory certification, but once you finish this, that is not sufficient as per my understanding. For 305, you should know about data, security, AI, 204, 400, everything. And then you can create a case study. Now you will say that, okay, then how we will go for AG 305, whether it is very difficult or what, or whether I am going to cover all these things, then no. So we also, once you understand AG 104, we are covering all the aspect of 104. We are covering all the 305 pointers. I'm not saying that I will give you demonstration on each and every service because it is a very, very vast. I will give you the heads up what is that service and why we are using it when we need to use this particular service. For example, if I'm talking about the virtual machine, in which condition we need to go for virtual machine? Why not go for other services? And what are the differences between both the services? Okay. So this is kind of I can say discussion, more onto the discussion where you also need to add your own pointers. You need to search it. What are the other services we have in Azure? What if, for example, if I need to create a web application, why I can't go for the virtual machine? Why I need to go for the containers? Why in this situation I need to go for I can say that service fabric is there or the batch services are there. There are multiple. So in which condition you need to choose which service? That is what AZ305. So whenever the client is giving you any kind of a requirement, they're coming up with that normal requirement or any big requirement. For example, I wanted to create an Amazon web application. So you can easily understand Amazon web application is very vast. It is also having the Amazon Prime. It is also having the shopping website. So if you want to work on the shopping website itself, then there are multiple other aspects for that in the backend. It is not just kind of application you are creating and you are just providing it to the client. No, it is having the process where you need to select the proper solutions, right? Whenever you are doing that, your developers are working on the program, they are developing the particular application, but where we need to create that or where we need to deploy that, that is a part of solution architect, cloud solution architect work. They need to figure out which solution is suitable for what requirement as per our requirement, whether for the database as well, whether I need to go for the SQL databases or I need to go for the SQL server or I need to go for the Postgres or I need to go for the Cosmos database. So the solution architect needs to decide what to do and how to do, because the solution architect needs to work on the cost optimization, needs to work on the performance, everything, and then finalize the architecture diagram. Okay, so in this journey as well, we will be having some case studies and you need to come up with your own solution, and then we will going to discuss on that. Okay, and once you figure out the solution, okay, suppose I'm saying that I need 10 virtual machines with 64 GB RAM. Will it be sufficient or will it actually required? What is your requirement? So to assign that, okay, solution architect has created the architecture diagram, but to approve that we need the administrator, because administrator will create all the resources or assign the permission to create the resources for you. So if I'm saying that no, you need for one of the requirement, I'm the as a cloud administrator, I got the requirement where they need to work on the uh, let's say Windows administration, and the client asked me, or that third party person asked me to create 64 GB RAM virtual machines and 4 vCPU, which is too much costly. Then I need to work with that person to understand what is your exact requirement. Will that be fine with 2 vCPUs, or will that be fine with lesser than the RAM? Then I got to know about that what is the actual requirement, and we can fulfill it by using 2 vCPUs as well. So that is what the cost cutting, and that is what the cost optimization. But when you know about that, whether there are other options as well, or whether we can do the cost cutting or cost optimization, once you understand the Azure administration. So that's why Azure administration plays important role in your organizations as well. Okay. Any questions till that or any doubts on it? Is this clear? Yes, team.
Yes, Chetna.
Okay. So see, I need a response from your end as well, because it should not be a one way. Okay. It has to be a kind of discussions, your thoughts. I need your thoughts as well. I need your point of view to talk about that particular service, what you are getting from that particular service, everything, so that I can manage my flow of teaching. Okay. So once we are done with this, let me just go for next part. Now, one thing I need to tell you about that, AZ 900 is a 1 day course, right? It is a 1 day course. And whenever I'm saying that 1 day course, it is 8 hours. For AZ 104, it is 32 hours, which is 4 days. And for 305, Yogesh, on mute.
We are getting background noise.
Wait, I will mute. Okay. All right. And this is AG 305 is again 32 hours, which is 4 days course. Now, how many number of days we required? 4 days, and 1 day, right? 9 days. And we need to finish this complete module in 5 days instead of 9 days. So how we will be completing that? So I will tell you how we will be finishing all these modules within the 5 days, but you need to make sure about, you need to trust me on that, that I will be covering all the pointers. Okay. I will also give you the learn documents. You can also go through that documents. Now, I will not focus more on the AZ 900. So let me just tell you about that. Okay. So let's go for it. So in Azure AG900, which is Azure fundamental, where we are going to talk about the cloud concepts, Azure architecture services, and management and governance. So in the first session, we will cover only cloud concepts, basics of Azure cloud, what is mean by the deployment models, what is mean by the service models, what is mean by subscriptions and all simple terms. Okay, cloud computing and all, that's it. After that, in Azure Architect, where we need to talk about high level overview of virtual machines, compute services, networking, storage and all, I'm going to skip this part. And also for the governance and all, I'm going to skip this part. Now if I want to tell you about this, see here. This is AG104 agenda. If I can say that this is also having identity governance, right? It is also having the Azure administration. So if I'm talking about this part, if I'm talking about the architecture services and the governance, you can see that in AG104 also we are covering the same. But in AG104, we are covering in a deep level, not a high level overview. So which one is best, deep level understanding or the high level overview? So I will go for the deep level understanding. So once you get the deep level understanding, you don't need to worry about the high level overview. Okay.
But at least we should know like what is the background of this, right?
Everything, yes, I will give you step by step everything. So you don't need to worry about that. See, the major issue with AJ900 is if I'm giving you the high level overview, it will just go bouncer for you.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I'm saying that virtual machine, it is just 2 minutes introduction for virtual machine in AG900. Instead of that, whenever we are talking about virtual machine, we'll spend 2 hours of time at least for the virtual machine. So you will get the proper understanding on that virtual machine. Okay.
Yeah, fine.
All right. After that, virtual networking, it is also a part of your architecture. See here, in this, in Azure architecture and services, networking, data services, as well as the compute services, you will get small kind of introduction over here. But after that, what we can do, I will blend all three courses together, because in AG104, you can see that these are the options. Now, let me just discuss about the identity. So whenever I'm talking about the identity, you are also working in organizations, right? So whenever you join any company, first thing what they will do, they will create a username and password for you, right? It means you will get your own identity to log into that service. Now, once you get the identity, then what is next? Governance. It means what kind of access you have, right? Because if you required only database services, then they will give you only database. If you are a developer, then they will give you the developer access. So whatever the services required for the development, that many services only you can access, right? So that things we are going to discuss in our governance and compliance. Also, after that, in Azure administration, it is kind of not only the portal. If you want to write your code, or let's say I wanted to create my resource by using some scripting languages or by using some automation scripts. So there are 3 to 4 different options we have from where you can create your resources. Now, what are that? How to create that? So I will give you all the heads up for the Azure administration. Okay. Now, once we are done with this, this is a major part of your AZ104. The focus is on virtual networking. And virtual networking is the complex term of Azure. Now, why it is a complex term? because you need to just imagine the things, right? You don't have the access on the switches and routers. You just need to tell your requirement to Azure, and Azure will work on that. And you need to trust on Azure. So to do that, to work with that, you need to understand there are multiple services in networking. So to cover that services, we need time, and we have to give that time, because in examination also you will get more questions on the networking part. Okay, so we will spend proper amount of time on networking, and then we'll go for the storage part. Okay, so in the storage also for AZ104, it is a basic storage, like you have your storage in your laptop. Also, you have your files, your folders. Also, you have your drives. So like that, how it will work in Azure. So that part we will going to discuss in Azure storage. Yes, whenever I'm saying that Azure storage, it you can think about that it is a simple thing, right? And for others as well, to understand storage account is really very simple, but there are so many things. I can teach you Azure storage in a 1 hour. I can teach you Azure storage account for 2 hours. Even I can spend 8 hours of time period for the Azure storage account. So you can easily understand that this is a vast, right? But we are not going to cover each and everything, but I will try to cover most of the things, whatever inside the storage account. Okay. And then we are going for the virtual machines, which is a compute part. And once we complete, there is a compute solution, which is a pass. So now, whenever I'm talking about the virtual machine, we are not going to complete only the virtual machine. We will also talk about what is mean by VMSS, right? A high level overview for VMSS, because it is also required in 305, right? After that, here the PaaS services. Now, AZ104 is it depends on infra. Whenever I'm saying that infra means infrastructure as a services. So your networking, your storage, all these things are related to infrastructure as a service. But we have the introductory module, which is called as a PaaS services, where within one module itself, we are going to cover all the PaaS services, most of the PaaS services, or I can say the common PaaS services, which is web application, function app. Then we also have a containers. That's it, right? And after that, we're going to cover the data protection. So the term is BCDR, business continuity and disaster recovery. So you are putting all your things on the cloud, right? So you are trusting on cloud, but one day, suppose you are putting something on your drives, let's say OneDrive, Google Drive, or anywhere, and one day you lost your data. Will that work? No. So the cloud providers will also work on the data protection. They are more focused on the data protection part, right? So what is mean by the data protection? They are already doing it in the storage also. I will show you that. But if you want to more add your more extra parts onto the data protection, if something went wrong, I wanted to recover my data, then you can go for the data protection. Disaster recovery, if there is a disaster happen. So there are two things. See here, business continuity and disaster recovery. So when I was talking about the business continuity, it means within a region, within a data center. If you lost your data, you can recover it from the second data center or the near data centers. But disaster recovery means what? If your complete region goes down, then what will happen? All the data centers will go on shutdown mode, right? So you can't recover the data. So we need to provision our recovery point in the second region. So that is what the disaster recovery. So what is how to do that? Everything we are going to discuss, right? And after that, last but not the least, this is a monitoring, which is most important part of all the Azure certifications, or I can say that if you are working with Azure, then monitoring is most important for you. So in this monitoring, we are going to cover what is meant by monitor, what is meant by network watcher, whatever related to the Azure administrator. But again, the same thing. In 305, we need to cover other things as well, right? So now let's talk about AZ 305. Again, we are covering the governance. You can say that, okay, that we have already discussed in AZ 104 governance, but it is an advanced version. So what we are going to do, we are combining both the things. If you remember, in AZ 900, there is a governance in learning path number 3. In AZ 104, there is a governance in module number 2. And here the governance in learning path number 1. So we are going to combine all these things together and we'll start it from scratch till the expert level, right? So you will get to know about that. In AZ 104, for the governance, we are just going to talk about what is meant by RBAC roles and the policies. But other than that, what other factors are also there? We are going to cover in this module. Okay. So how we are combining all these things, that also I am going to show you. Okay. Compute. So whenever here there is a compute, it covers everything. Means what? Your virtual machine, your PaaS services. In 104, we are just covering the PaaS services, 3 to 4 PaaS services, which is a web application, function app, and the containers. But other than that, also we have multiple other options for the compute. We do have a batch services, we do have a service fabric, we do have a AKS clusters, we do have a container apps, which is a new service launched by Microsoft. We do have other options as well. So when to choose what? Logic apps, we also have the logic apps. So everything we are going to cover here. So we will be spending complete 1 day for the compute only, where we are going to start from the virtual machine till the all PaaS services. Okay. After that, storage. Here we have the storage non-relational. Now, whenever I'm talking about the non-relational, this is Azure storage account, which is also part of your AZ104, right? But here we are also covering what is mean by NetApp files. What is mean by? We are not going to demonstrate it, because if I'm going to demonstrate each and everything, it will take too much time and we are not able to cover all these things. And in AZ305, we are more on to the designing part, not on the demonstrations. But I will try to cover most of the things and at least what is mean by NetApp files, where we need to use that, in which condition, and related to that, any documentations are there to learn more about it. I will give you that as well. Okay. Once we're done with the storage account, there is a storage. Other type of storage also we have relational databases. Whenever I'm talking about the relational databases, we have the SQL database. We also have the SQL Server, SQL managed instances. We also have the Elastic pools. Still, it is not covering the Postgres, MySQL, or the Gremlin, or other than that, we also have the Cassandra and all, right? But I will give you the heads up on that as well while covering the Cosmos DB. So some of the participants also working on AZ204, and Cosmos database is the major part. I can say that whenever you want to try about the data, then the advanced version is the Cosmos database. So I will say spend some time on the Cosmos database as well. And once we finish with that, we'll go for the data integrations. So other than that, Cosmos database data, once you store that data, you need to manipulate the data as well. You need to transform the data ETL and ELT. It means once I have that data, I need to work on that. So I guess you already, or for example, I'm saying that um, I have all kind of information in the table format of relational database for my online shopping website. Now, if I wanted to call only few of the columns or few of the rows, and I need to do the computations on that, or it is kind of a vast data I'm getting. Let's say there is a Uber or Ola services, and you can easily understand that there are multiple users are daily using it. They are using the services, they are get served by the services and everything. So if I wanted to do a track of it, I need to do the computations, right, on that. So in data integration, we are going to talk about what is mean by the data bricks, what is mean by the data factory, what is mean by Azure Synapse Analytics. Till AZ305 has not added the Microsoft Fabric, but I will also give you the heads up, little bit heads up on the Microsoft Fabric as well as Microsoft Purview. Okay. And after that, here we have the app architecture. So app architecture is nothing but it is kind of we are talking about compute, network, storage, and all these aspects. But what are the other services working in the backend? For example, whenever you are on the online shopping website, suppose you purchase particular product, whenever that shipment starts, you will get notification, right? Through the SMS or through the email, right? And whenever it passes that particular pointer, you will get notifications for the tracking purpose, right? So how these backend services work behind the scene? There are event grids, there are event hubs, there are service bus. So what is mean by that? Or I can say that message-based solutions or event-based solutions. So these are we are going to cover over here. And this is also part of AZ204. Okay. After that, authentication and authorization. Authentication and authorization, your AZ104's identity module, which is a module number 1. But again, AD, so those who are worked with Active Directory, now it is called as a Microsoft Entra ID. So it is having so many things because identity is not just creating the username and passwords. We will also think about the security part. So if you are accessing my organization account, then you should follow some rules, right? You can't log in from your personal laptop, right? I hope everyone has that experience. How that works, there is a policy behind the scene. How that policy will added over there by using that authentication and authorization, there are some licenses. So we are going to do the deep dive onto that in 305. Okay, again the same thing. 305 only talks about the high level overview, but I will give you the complete heads up of that, where we have the conditional access policy, where we have that what kind of licenses we required and everything. Okay. After that, there is a monitoring. Again, the same thing. Monitoring AZ104 last module, right? Again, in that AG900, there is a last module which is having that monitoring part as well. So we are combining all these things together and we are covering over here. Now, same thing for the monitoring. In AG104, we are just covering monitor as well as the network watcher. But other than that, there is a log analytic workspace. Other than that, there is a Microsoft Purview. Other than that, there are so many other things where you can also create the dashboards. We also have the Grafana. We also have the Power BI, but I'm not going to talk about that, but I will give you the heads up where is that option. Okay. So this is the part of your monitoring. After that, we also have the networks. Again, your AZ104's module for the networking. virtual networks, intersite connectivity, as well as that traffic management. Over here, we are going one step extra, where we are going to talk about what is mean by VPN connectivities. So we are working from home, right? Work from home. How that work from home works? Because we are connected to our organization networks, right? So that is what the VPN. How that VPN will work? So that part we are going to cover in the networks. And then again, BCDR, if you remember, that is also a part of AG104, data protection. So we are covering the same thing here. And the migration. Migration is the extra part which we will going to cover in the last day, where we are trying to understand what are the steps we have in the migration. We will try to migrate some of the virtual machines, okay, and we'll talk about it, okay. So is this clear what we are going to cover in AG 900, 104 and 305 and how they are interconnected with each other? Yes, team?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yes, Shilpa.
Yes. Yes.
Hassan, your voice is breaking.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible now.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I got it. Explained.
sure. Thank you so much for confirmation. Now let's go for how we will be covering our or by combining all these three courses together. Okay. So this is AG 900. For the day one, we will be going to cover what is mean by the cloud computing, what is mean by the share responsibilities, and what are the cloud models, which means service models, deployment models, and after that, what is mean by the capital expenditures and the operational expenditures. Now, whenever you are targeting for the certification, I will suggest that don't complete AZ 900 because from the Microsoft itself, it is an optional certificate. If you are on the managerial level or you are from the sales background, then you can go for AG 900 certification, which is mandatory. But if you are a developer, you need to go directly for AG 204 and 400. If you are from the administrator or from the solution architect, you need to go for directly that AG 104 and 305 certifications. If you are working closely with the networking part, then there is a AG 700 certifications and all. So you can directly jump onto the associate level certification. Okay. But still, we are going to talk about what is mean by cloud benefits, what is mean by IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. So on the first day, we're going to cover this part only. Okay. After that, the next part. So this part we will going to cover in the combination way of AZ 104 and 305, where we are going to talk about the architecture components, regions, subscriptions, and everything. Okay, on the first day itself, I will start with what is meant by subscription, what is meant by resource group, what is meant by region, availability zones, and all. And I will give you one link. From there you can explore more and more onto that. You can check what is the speed if I'm creating the resource near to my location, nearest data center, then what is the latency we have. Everything you will get it from the Azure speed. Okay, so I will give you that, I will guide you that, I will walk you through with this, with that link. Okay, and after that, here we have the compute, networking, storage, identity, and access service security. So we are not going to cover these things. Instead, we will going to start with our AG 104 and 305, where we are completing all these things in a deep manner. All right. Now, after that, let's go for the next one. So this, let me just go for next. Okay. Again, AG900 is having the learning path number 3, where we are going to talk about the pricing calculator, blueprints. Blueprints I will be covering in our ARM templates itself. Okay. Again, the same thing. See here, resource deployment tools. In AG104, we also have the PowerShell, CLI, Azure Arc, ARM template, and on top of that, I will also talk about the bicep template, because now ARM template, Microsoft is working on the bicep, which is complement of ARM template. So those things we can't do with ARM, that we can do with bicep templates. Okay. So this part also I will give you heads up. Azure Advisor, Service Health, Azure Monitor, I will complete it in Azure Monitoring itself. Okay. So this is the one. After that, let's go for the next and how we are combining all these things. So this is our first part. So what we are going to do in the day number 1, we are going to cover what is meant by cloud computing, the benefits, subscriptions, and then directly we are going to talk about this part, identity. So it's a 5 hours. We have every day 5 hours. So I need to complete each and everything. And for that, we also have a lab. So these are the guided labs by Microsoft itself. Okay. So these labs you need to finish. If time permits, I will give you the time in between the session. Otherwise, you need to finish as your assignments. For the next session, once you finish that, if you have any doubts in between, you can ask me that. For that purpose, I will join that session before that 9 a.m. I can join that session at 8:30, near about 30 minutes prior to the session. So you can also join there and you can ask me the questions. Okay. After that, here we have the authentication and authorization. So identity is a Microsoft Entra ID. And with that Entra ID, what are the licenses? What is meant by the identity protection, conditional access policies, how we can create how we can design the access reviews, where we are using that. Again, service principles, keywords, everything we are going to cover here. Okay. And then we have the case study. See here, 104, you will get lab, but for 305, you will get a case study for every module. So for the case study, we're going to discuss over there itself, because it will be fresh in your mind. So you need to come with your solution. For that, I will not give you the time, because if I'm giving you the time, you can search from somewhere and you can give me the answers. So instead of that, we'll do the brainstorming over there itself. We will discuss these things and we will finalize the solution. All right. So this is what our agenda for day number 1. Now let's go for day number 2. So in day number 2, we're going to cover governance, where we are going to talk about, already we are talking about the subscriptions, right? After that, we're going to cover what is mean by RBAC role, which is a role-based access control. What is mean by Azure policy. I will also give you the heads up on initiatives, how to create the policy initiative, how it will work and everything. Same thing, subscriptions, resource groups, resource taggings, and here we have the landing zone. So I will give you just a high level overview of landing zone, because we are not going to deploy it, because it will require the enterprise level subscription that we don't have. Only the big organizations like TCS, IBM, or anything, they have the enterprise level subscription. They can go for landing zones. Okay, but there are some templates, and what is meant by landing zone, that I will give you the heads up, and here only we'll go and talk about the blueprints as well. And again, we do have the case study on it. So this will be our second day agenda, but we can cover it, we can finish it up. So that's why we will be going to cover second part as well. So on the day 2, We're going to cover the governance as well as administer Azure resources, where we are going to talk about how to create the resources by using the PowerShell, by using the Bash, by using the ARM template, by using the biceps and all. Okay. So if I guess those who are having the developer background, they also know about the Terraform, right? So so I will give you the just introductory part of Terraform as well. If you want to know more about it, then I can also share you the documentations. Okay. So this is our day 2 agenda. After that, let's go for the day 3, which is virtual network. As I said, we need to spend proper amount of time for the virtual networking. And we can't cover virtual networking in the 5 hours time period. So we need more time for that. So we'll try to finish as much as we can, but I need to go slow over here because it is a vast and we need to understand it properly. So that's why this will be our start of day 3, and how whatever we are going to finish in the day number 3, that is okay. We'll continue the same thing in day number 4. Okay. But we'll try to finish that part in the first half of the day number 4 because we also need to cover storage part. Okay. So again, see the same thing for the networking. Once we finish all these things, then and then only we're going to cover case study. Because now you have the clear understanding on the networking part. Okay. Now, next thing, we have the storage. As I said, Azure storage account is nothing but the storage, no non-relational databases, or I can say the non-relational storage. So same things are there. Here also we are going to talk about the files. Here also we are going to blob storage. See here, all the contents are same. Here also we are going to talk about the redundancy, storage securities, Azure files and everything. Disk solutions, we are going to talk about securities here. Security is also there. Extra part is NetApp files. It is just kind of an introduction. I will also give you the heads up on that. And once you complete that, we will have the case study again. Okay. So on the day number 4, we'll try to cover whatever the left part of networking and storage part, complete storage part. Okay. After that, once we finish with storage, non-relational database, the next day, which is our 5th day, we're going to cover storage complete part, which is relational database, where we are going to cover the SQL databases, where we also need to cover the Cosmos databases, right? Also, I need to give you the heads up on what is meant by the data factory, data lake, data breaks, what is meant by the Synapse Analytics. Also, I will give you the Microsoft Fabric and what is meant by the Purview, right? So these are the 2 things are also there related to the data. So I will cover these things as well, just a little bit introduction, high level overview. Because if I'm telling you about Microsoft Fabric, there are 2 courses on Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft has recently launched. And 1 course is on the Purview. So you can understand that is very, very vast, right? And it is also not included here. So I don't want to spend too much time on that. But Cosmos database, yes, of course, Cosmos database is a part of 305. And that's why I will spend some time on that because it will impact on your decision making whenever you are creating your solution. Okay. And after once we're done with this, you will have the case study for it. Okay. Now, that was our that is our agenda for day number 5. Now let's go for the day number 6, where we are going to talk about the virtual machine. We are going to cover in the first half, we can cover the virtual machine VMSs, and after that we'll start working on the PaaS services. Once you understand the web application, then you can easily understand the container instances. You can easily understand the container apps, you can easily understand the function apps, you can easily understand the logic apps. And just we need to understand what is the difference between them. That's it. The major part is app service plan and the web app. Done. Okay. So that is a part of AZ 104. But AZ 305 also have the compute, where we are going to talk about the function app, logic app, AKS. See here, container instances, which cover the container apps as well. App service solutions, batch services, everything we are going to cover. And once we're done with this, there is a case study. Now, this case study have two solutions. Either you can go for the infrastructure as a service, or either you can go for the PaaS services. So you can come up with your solutions for either you want to go for the PaaS services. I will suggest that those who are from the development background, they can come up with the PaaS services like function app, logic app, Kubernetes, or the batch services or anything. And anyone can go for any solution, but we will going to discuss both the solutions. Okay. So that is our agenda for day number 6. But I'm not saying that this we will cover on the day number 6 only, because it might happen as per your understanding. I will shift it here and there. It might happen before you are understanding the virtual network. You need to understand the virtual machine, because storage is connected to virtual machine. Networking is connected to virtual machine. So first of all, what we need to understand, what is meant by the virtual machine. Then how that virtual network works for it, how the storage works for it, and all. So it might happen, I will change it here and there, right? But whatever we want to cover in a one day, that is what I'm just talking about it here. Okay. So this is the one. Once we finish complete day on this compute solutions only, after that we'll go for the next part, which is our day number 7, where we are going to talk about the data protection, backups, and the disaster recovery. See here also we are going to cover the backup. See this? Blob storage backup, file storage backup. See here, this is the part of virtual machine backup. You can see that the same part is there. SQL backup and recovery. Also we have the SAP HANA. Maybe some of you are working with SAP services also. So you also have the option where you can take a backup of SAP HANA services. And then we are going to talk about the site recovery, which is disaster recovery. So these all things are BC, which is business continuity. And this is a part of disaster recovery. Okay. So we'll cover these things, as well as this is a small part. We can easily cover in the first half itself. But after that, in the second half of the same day, we're going to cover the monitoring. Same thing. I can deliver monitoring in a 1 hour, 2 hour, or I can spend the whole day for monitoring. So I will try to cover most of the things, whatever the major part of that in the monitoring. Not going to do the too much deep diving, otherwise it will go bouncer for you. So whenever you are working with that, you will get to know about it more and more. Okay. So this is for the second last day. And then we have the last day where we are going to talk about the application architecture. As I said, event-based solutions, message-based solution, where we are going to talk about the event hub, event grids. In a simple term, if I wanted to say that, then you are getting the trigger messages from the event grids in the backend. So this is the event grid. If you wanted to collect the information, for example, multiple IoT sensors are there, smart city, and you wanted to collect the huge amount of data in a fraction of seconds, then you can go for the event hubs. Message-based solutions, you are using your WhatsApps, you are using your message-based solution anywhere. It is not only one-to-one communication, or it is not just kind of a one person wants to talk with other person. No, It can be one application wants to talk with other application. Your online shopping website, whenever you are putting your product into the cart, you are proceeding with the payment structure, right? So for the payment, there is another application in the backend. So it needs the communication between both the applications so that we can go for this message based solution. Also here, I will try to cover APIM. What is mean by the APIM and why we are using that? You are using it. Everyone is using it, but we don't know about that this is called as APIM in the backend. Okay. So this also I will try to cover. And then this is the case study, right? And once we're done with this, there is a migration. So for the migration, you can see that there is no case study. It is just kind of overview kind of things where we are going to talk about what are the steps, assessment, compare, migrate, and these all things we are going to do. Okay. And what is mean by the cloud adoption framework? What is mean by the Azure migration framework? Also, for the architecture level, we need to talk about the WAF, well architected framework, right? So what is mean by that? What are the pillars of it? Everything we are going to cover in the on the last day. And after that, I will also guide you how to prepare for the examination. What are the tips and tricks to clear the examination? Okay. So this is what the agenda for our complete journey of Azure Solution Architect Expert. Any questions till that? Yes, team? So far, so good?
Yeah, good.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, good.
great. So at any moment, if you're thinking about that, this is going bouncer for me, or I'm not able to catch these things, your pace is so high, your pace is so low, you wanted to explain it again with the different kind of use cases, just let me know. Unmute yourself, raise your voice, and you can ask me the question. But if your questions are irrelevant of the topic, current topic, then I will park that question and I will try to finish it whenever we are talking about that particular um, service. Okay, will that fine for you?
Sure.
Great. All right, then this is for today. If you have any questions or anything, then I can answer that queries, or else we can close the session for today.
So I have one question. Like
Mhm.
in this class will be in weekend, right?
Yes, weekend only, 5 hours.
5 hours.
Yes,
Okay.
it
All
will be
right.
9 to 2, right? For Saturday and Sunday,
Okay. And what would be the timings?
9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay. All right, ma'am.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let's meet in
Hello.
the next weekend. Yes, yes, Parmeshwar.
Yeah, like I'm a .NET developer. Then what's the use for me like this 104 and this architect? So how I can cover all those topics or syllabus by that Azure 204? So like it
Okay.
is different for me, right? So it's
Yes.
administrator and I'm a developer. So there is
Side by side, what you can do, Parmeshwar, I will give you the suggestion. If you are trying to complete AG204, as I said, AG104 is the basic.
hmm.
So either you are directly going for the security or anything, you have to complete AG104 to clear your basics. Okay. 305 you always require to solution architect, you need to create your solution, right?
Yes.
Now, how you can prepare for 204? In this journey, we're going to cover web application. That is also a part of 204. We'll
No.
also cover the function app, again part of 204. We will be covering storage account, again it is a part of 204. Cosmos database, I said that I will give you heads up on that, right? We'll spend some time, at least some part. And for 204, This is also one of the module. Monitoring is one of the modules. Whenever we are talking, and another thing, this is the one of the module. Event grid, message based solution. That is also one of the modules. So what extra you need to prepare? We are going to cover the identity as well. We are going to cover the ARM templates as well. We are going to cover key vaults as well. Okay. As I said, API management. API management is one of the modules. So I will give you the heads up on that. So at least you will clear your um, things for that particular service and you can easily prepare for it. Okay. And recently, Microsoft has removed the last topic, which is the CDN and what we have Redis caching. So
Okay.
you don't need to worry about that. So we just have 11 modules for it and labs, how to prepare that labs as you are the developer. So you can easily crack that things. I will give you the heads up on that as well. So whenever I am giving you the assignment for this AZ104,
Mhm.
I will also specifically give you the link for AG204 as well. Okay.
O- Okay.
And if you have any doubts on that, you can ask me that question.
Okay, means within this course only, so we will cover all those models regarding 204.
Most of the modules we are going to cover.
Okay.
Okay. So that's why you don't need to worry about it, but not that much in a deeper way. So once you have the understanding on it, then
Mhm.
you need to just follow the instructions in the labs. So you will get the clear understanding on that. Okay.
Okay, understood.
All right. Great then.
Yeah.
Anything else?
One last
Yes,
question, ma'am.
Satya.
Yeah, I'm asking, for example, for lab purpose, uh, it is different actually. I'm asking. I had account and it has been expired. So for lab, there will be anything which you can provide to do the lab.
I guess you can connect with your spokesperson for this new skills, right?
Mhm.
They will,
Okay.
I guess, provide you the labs.
Okay, I'll discuss with them then.
Yes.
And one more thing, ma'am, in this course, we will be learning CI/CD also.
Not exactly. We are not going to cover CI/CD, but whenever we are talking about the web applications, I will give you the little heads up on that because CI/CD is having its own course, AG400.
Mhm.
So, and it is vast. So I will not be able to cover each and everything at that moment.
All right, ma'am.
Okay.
Understood.
But I will give you the little bit heads up on that. Don't need to worry about it.
Okay, got it.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, nothing from my end, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. All right, then let's close the session for today. Thank you so much for attending and let's meet in the next session. Bye bye, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Chandra. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.